Good morning and welcome to our Lenten morning devotion for, oh goodness, what is today? February 24th. It's good to have you with us, whether you're joining us live or whether you're coming and joining us later on in the day. We've also been cross-posting these videos now to our YouTube channel, so you can find them there. And if you know of somebody that would enjoy watching them, but is not on Facebook, refer them to our YouTube channel and they can find them all there. I've realized this morning that one of the things that I have forgotten to do as we get started is to light a candle, and I would invite you to do the same thing. It's just a simple way of reminding us that when we come together in a faith community, and especially in a time of prayer and devotion, God is with us in a special way. We know that God is with us all the time, but when we come together in times like these, it is just a reminder that there is a unique way that God gathers with us as a worshiping and devoting community. So I'd like to read to you today a portion of the Jesus' Sermon on the Mount that's kept in Matthew's Gospel. It's a part that's not often considered the Sermon on the Mount because we just love the Beatitudes and then the information about being the light of the world and the salt of the earth, and we just soak all that up and don't move on. There's more to the Sermon on the Mount than the Beatitudes and salt and light. So today I read to you from the 5th chapter of Matthew's Gospel, chapter 21 through 26. Hear these words. You have heard that it was said to those of ancient times, "You shall not murder, and whoever murders shall be liable to judgment." But I say to you that if you are angry with a brother or sister without cause, you will be liable to judgment. And if you insult or abuse a brother or sister, you will be liable to the council. And if you say, "You fool," you will be liable to Gehenna, or the hell of fire. So when you are offering your gift at the altar, if you remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go. First be reconciled to your brother or sister, and then come and offer your gift. Come to terms quickly with your accuser while you are on the way to court with him, or your accuser may hand you over to the judge, and the judge to the guard, and you will be thrown into prison. Truly, I tell you, you will never get out until you have paid the last penny. Yeah, I can see why this is not one of the most favorite parts of the Sermon on the Mount. However, the church of my youth frequently used verses 23 and 24 as an invitation to the offering. They are the verses that say that if you're bringing an offering and remember that someone's got a gripe with you, leave your gift, go work things out, and come back and offer your gift. Now, the cynical side of me imagined that if people took this literally, there would be a bunch of money piled up outside the door of the church, because which one of us is free of being in conflict with someone? And usually those conflicts take some time to work through. So I imagine church treasurers across the land would be pulling their hair out, watching the expense side of the ledger grow as the income line held stagnant and the anticipated income yet to be offered just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. These verses that are pulled out of the larger Sermon on the Mount make the point that God desires peace among people more than sacrifice to God. Unfounded anger, abuse, family discord, and other expressions of hostility don't have any place in the realm of God, and simply making an offering to God isn't going to bring the realm of God into reality. It takes work, it takes humility, it takes owning up to the conflicts that encroach upon human relationship and community. And at the core of all of that is a sense of confession. It's the difficult act of admitting our part in the things that have gone wrong in our relationships, including our relationship with God. Years ago, while I was in seminary, I took a chaplaincy course called Clinical Pastoral Education, and we met as a group, and that group was led by a supervisor. Well, our supervisor back then talked about confession as the work we do to move the barriers that keep us from being in relationship with God and others. And in confession, we move those barriers out of the way. How can we be in community, in friendship, in relationship, in covenant with someone if we are carrying anger or fear or hurt? She believed that confession should come as early in the worship service as possible. Since worship is about deepening our relationship with God, we should begin by getting rid of the things that will get in the way of that relationship. So, yes, leave your gift and go do what you can to make things right in your relationship. But I'm going to listen to the church treasurers and suggest that it's okay to go ahead and make your offering while you're at the altar. Thank God for the grace and courage to go do the hard work of reconciliation. I invite you to pray with me. Understanding God, we begin this day with the realization that your hope for us is for community and reconciliation. We are grateful for grace and new opportunities to be reconciled with you and others. Take us into this day with a spirit of openness to recognize the opportunities for renewed relationship as they come before us. May we rejoice to be your people in all we do and say. Amen. And so, my friends, as we prepare to go into this day, we take our candle and extinguish the flame, but then we watch the smoke go into the room, and let that be a reminder that as we go into this day, God's Spirit goes with us. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you again tomorrow.